Good morning. Happy Friday to everyone. This is Mornings with Michael for informational and educational purposes only. Welcome to the weekend, they say. Uh, Before we get moving, let me just cover a couple of things. So, jobs report came in. Hiring was heavier than expected, but also jobless claims came in higher than expected. So, this is kind of a conundrum. But let's get to the news. Lululemon, LULU, quarter one EPS 228, tops consensus of $1.98. Stock is gapping up. Costco, COST, May total comparable sales negative 0.3%, estimate of positive 0.5%. BARK, BARK, quarter four, adjusted EPS lost 4 cents, in line with estimates. ChargePoint, CHPT, quarter one loss 23 cents versus estimated of 17-cent loss. Five Below, FIVE, quarter one EPS 67 cents versus 63 cents estimate. Hilly's, TLYS, quarter one EPS loss 40 cents versus estimate of 33 cents. Zumiez, quarter one EPS loss 96 cents versus estimate of 86 cents. On to energy, industrials, and material. Exxon, XOM, and Chevron, CVX, are in advanced negotiations with Algeria on a deal that would allow the U.S. energy giants to drill for the first time in the gas-rich North African nation, according to the Algerian Energy Ministry. Chemours Company, CC, DuPont, DDD, and Corteva, CTVA, announced that they have reached an agreement in principle to comprehensively resolve the PFAS-related drinking water claims, a defended class of public water systems that serve much of the U.S. population. As part of the agreement, the companies will establish a settlement fund and contribute a total of $1.185 billion to the fund, with Chemours contributing about $592 million, DuPont adding $400 million, and Corteva contribution of $193 million. Financials: Fed discount window, borrowing $3.97 billion on May 31st versus $4.2 billion on May 24th. Healthcare. Cooper Company, COO, quarter two EPS $3.08 versus estimate of $3.03. Universal Health, UHS, upgraded to buy from neutral at Bank of America. Surgery Partners, SGRY, upgraded to buy from neutral at Bank of America. Technology, media, and telecom. Broadcom, AVGO, quarter two adjusted EPS $10.32 versus estimate of $10.08. Asana, ASAN, quarter one EPS loss at 9 cents, beats by 9 cents. And also beat on revenue by almost $2 million. Elastic NV, ESTC, quarter four EPS 22 cents versus estimate of 10 cents. Guidewire Software, GWRE, quarter three adjusted EPS loss 8 cents versus a loss estimated of 14 cents. MongoDB, MDB, quarter one EPS 56 cents versus estimate 9 cents. 56 cents versus estimate of 19 cents. PagerDuty, PD, quarter one EPS 20 cents versus estimate 3 cents. Sentinel, S, adjusted EPS loss 15 cents versus estimate of 17 cents. Stratasys, SSYS, announced that it was received an unsolicited, non-binding indicative proposal from 3D Systems, DDD, to acquire Stratasys for $7.50 in cash and $1.25 in newly issued shares of common stock of 3D Systems per ordinary share of Stratasys. Both of those are in the laser printing of metal objects. VMware, VMW quarter one adjusted EPS, $1.49 versus estimate of $1.58. Zscaler, ZS, said it delivered 46% revenue growth, 40% billings growth to $482.3 million. And finally, MKS Instruments, MKSI, 2 million share spot secondary priced at $97.15. And that's our news for the day. Let's go to some screen sharing. First, I often get asked, what's the first thing that I should do with my investments or planning? This is a chart that works both with the index universal life insurance policy and an annuity. The money never goes down when the stock market does. It always steps up, so you don't have money risk. Leave it to the insurance companies to worry about that while you go about your life and don't have to worry about your money. That's the first thing I would suggest before adding any riskier investments. As you can see, the indices average annual growth is 7.57. Annuity average annual growth is 12.58%. So that is that screen. Now let me go take a look at what's happening in the financial markets. Let's look at what bond yields are doing. See if my screen will behave here. Bond yields are bouncing off of the 200-day. They're up slightly today, up 1.6%. The 20-year are up 1.42%. And the 1 to 3 year bonds are falling, so their yields are rising. Take a look at the VIX. The VIX is falling. When we looked at this yesterday, it moved up to its 20-day moving average and then sold off at the end of the day. And same thing happening today. So the S&P 500 should be moving up, I would think. Looks like it's breaking out for the first time. So this line here, the 420 area is providing resistance, is gapping up here. So it bears watching. The NASDAQ is severely extended. Eventually, this is going to have some sort of pullback, and we'll continue to watch that. Dow Jones Industrial Average continues its move. It's now above all of its major moving average at 10, 20, 50, and 200-day moving averages. Take a look at our small cap issues. Gapping up this morning, I guess on the employment report or the jobs report, gapping up. Whether it will later come back and fill this gap remains to be seen. Volume has been low, so we'll continue to watch that. Take a look at some of our indexes. Home construction companies bouncing after it declined to its 50-day moving average, and now it's bouncing above all of its major averages. For building materials, gapping up today with the news of the home construction. We'll see if this gap gets filled or if it gets ignored. Gold is pulling back. Let's take a look at the US dollar. US dollar really sold off hard the other day, but it is moved up, bouncing its head against the 200-day. And whether all the news of the 22 countries that are moving away from the dollar will affect this will remains to be seen. Silver remain bullish on silver with all the EV battery supplies that it's being done out there. We have a little bit of a pullback here, came down hard here and is trying to recover, so we'll continue to watch that. And copper today is gapping up. We'll see if it can remain above the 20-day moving average or if it fills that gap. Remember, 80% of gaps fill and then they return to the trend. So that bears watching. Now let's take a look at some other issues that we read about in the news. Lululemon earnings came up and we have a huge gap up, and the price of the shares are up 12%. The downside is it's on the bottom of its gap up, which is slightly bearish, so we'll have to continue to watch that. Li Auto, Chinese automaker, gapping up, but it also remains on the bottom of its move today. NVS gapping up. Swedish developer of generic pharmaceuticals continues to be in the news. Trade Desk gapping up 4.65%. This has been a past leader. We can just take a look on the weekly chart, see what it's done in the past. We have to do a monthly chart. Just so you look at this huge move up. They provide marketing support for a number of companies for the digital campaigns. Datadog, we looked at last week. It's gapping up over here. Once again, it's on the bottom of its move. We'll have to continue to watch that, see if it continues moving higher. We just looked at Southern Copper. Teletech, Tetra Tech provides engineering services focusing on water resource management. Moving up strong. We've got huge buying here, 1, 2, and probably a third day in a row. Relative strength against the S&P 500 is moving up. It hasn't hit a new high yet. Downtrending, but we'll continue to watch that. And then let's look what's moving down. Super microcomputer is holding steady. Lattice Semiconductor is moving down 4.7%. TELUS is down 1.13%. Saratoga Investment down about 1%. Mercado Libre is down 1.83%. GitLab can just not get out of its way and move higher. Continues to struggle down here below its 200-day. Guidewire Software, which was in the news, gapping down about 11%. MKS Instruments down, but it's trying to fight back. This may look like a little cup on a handle. Strong bullish formation. We'll have to continue to watch that. Okta gap down after its earnings and is remaining under the major moving averages. Finally, Excel Energy gapping down, although this is slightly bullish, it's remaining at the top of its range. That is my report for today. Looked at I'm going to take a look at a few more ETFs. The technology sector is remaining strong. Communication sector holding up there. This is Meta, Google, Apple. Financials finally got a bid. They're gapping up, jumped up above its 10, 20, and 50-day moving average. And our software just continues to go up at some point. We're going to have a pullback here. So that's our report for Friday, June the 2nd. This has been Mornings with Michael for informational, educational, and entertainment purposes only. On Monday, we'll take a look at some charts to analyze advanced decline, see if the health of the market is improving. In the meantime, continue to watch this. It does seem that the market is broadening out from the tech titans that have been holding up the market indexes. So check back and we'll take a look at that. I hope everybody has a great weekend and stay tuned on Saturday for our small business focus. We have an interesting guest coming up who helps companies grow their companies with money and helps distribute their shares when they're getting ready to retire. In the meantime, hope everybody has a great weekend. Be well and prosper.